Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, a shooting pain traveling up your leg, wondering what on earth is happening to your body? Or maybe you found yourself sitting at the edge of your bed each morning, hesitating to stand up because you know that first step is going to hurt more than you'd like to admit. I see you nodding. I hear your sigh of recognition. You're not alone. And what I'm about to share might just change everything you thought you knew about that persistent leg pain that's been slowly stealing your joy, your mobility, and perhaps even your independence. My name is Dr. Jessica Lee, and for the past 27 years, I've dedicated my life to understanding the hidden connections between what we eat and how our bodies feel, especially as we move into our golden years. But this isn't just professional for me, it's deeply personal. You see, 5 years ago, my father, a proud, independent man who had never taken a sick day in his life, began experiencing debilitating leg pain at 68. The kind that had him gripping the stair rail with white knuckles. The kind that meant he started saying no to the weekend walks he'd always treasured with my mother. The doctors told him it was just aging. They prescribed pain medications that left him foggy and still hurting. They suggested he learn to live with it, as if accepting needless suffering was some kind of virtue. I refused to accept that answer. And today, I refuse to let you accept it too. What if I told you that 3 foods sitting in your refrigerator right now, foods you've been faithfully consuming because you've been told they're healthy choices, might actually be the hidden culprits behind your leg pain? Would you be surprised, confused, maybe even a little angry that no one told you this before? I understand. When I discovered what I'm about to share with you, I felt all those emotions too. Before I reveal these 3 surprisingly problematic foods, I want to ask you something important. Have you noticed that this leg pain seemed to creep up on you over the last few years? That it wasn't sudden, but rather a slow burn that gradually intensified until one day you realized it had become a constant companion? That timing isn't a coincidence, and here's why. Over the past decade, certain foods have been increasingly promoted as superfoods or health foods. Their benefits trumpeted from every health magazine, morning show, and wellness blog. We've been encouraged to incorporate them into our daily diets as the pathway to better health. And for some people, they truly are beneficial. But what the glossy magazine articles never mention is that after age 60, our bodies undergo significant changes in how we process and respond to certain compounds in these foods. What nourishes a 40-year-old body can sometimes trigger inflammation in a 65-year-old one. It's not your imagination, and you haven't done anything wrong. Your discomfort isn't a natural, inevitable part of aging that you simply have to endure. It's a signal, your wise body communicating with you, telling you something isn't quite right. And today we're going to listen to what it's saying. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old former school teacher who came to see me last year. Margaret had always been active, tending her garden, volunteering at the local library, playing with her grandchildren. But when she walked into my office, she needed a cane. It's worst in the mornings, she told me, and at night. Sometimes the burning sensation in my calves wakes me up. My doctor says it's arthritis, but the medications aren't helping much. Margaret had been following what she thought was a perfect diet for her health. She diligently incorporated all the health foods recommended for seniors. She was doing everything right, or so she thought. Within 3 weeks of removing just 3 specific foods from her diet, Margaret reported a 70% reduction in her leg pain. Within 2 months, she left her cane at home. She told me with tears in her eyes, "I feel like I've gotten my life back." I've seen this transformation hundreds of times now in my practice. Different faces, different lives, same story, same unnecessary suffering, same relief when the true cause is finally addressed. So, what are these 3 supposedly healthy foods that might be causing your leg pain? Let's uncover them one by one. The first culprit might be sitting in your breakfast bowl right now. Whole grain wheat products. I know, I know. For decades, we've been told that whole grains are nutritional powerhouses, rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. And they can be, but here's what's happening in many people over 60. As we age, our digestive systems become more sensitive to certain proteins found in wheat, particularly a family of proteins called lectins. For many people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, these lectins can trigger an inflammatory response that manifests as joint pain, muscle aches, and yes, that persistent leg pain you've been experiencing. This isn't the same as celiac disease or even a standard gluten sensitivity. It's a more subtle inflammatory response that develops gradually as we age, often going completely undetected because it doesn't cause digestive distress. Just that mysterious pain that everyone keeps telling you is normal aging. Think about your typical day. Whole wheat toast for breakfast, a sandwich on whole grain bread for lunch, perhaps some pasta or crackers for dinner. Each meal introducing more of these potentially inflammatory compounds into your system. Dorothy, a 68-year-old client of mine, described it perfectly. I felt like I was doing everything right. Every morning, I'd have my healthy whole grain cereal, feeling virtuous about all that fiber. Every night, I'd go to bed with throbbing legs. It never occurred to me the two could be connected. When Dorothy eliminated wheat products for just 3 weeks, she was astounded by the difference. The change was so dramatic, she told me, that at first I didn't trust it. I thought it must be coincidence. But it wasn't coincidence. It was her body finally getting relief from a hidden trigger. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying whole grains are unhealthy for everyone. For many people, especially younger adults, they provide valuable nutrition. But if you're over 60 and suffering from unexplained leg pain, they deserve your suspicion. But let's move on to our second surprising culprit, tomatoes and other nightshade vegetables. Yes, those bright, beautiful tomatoes in your salad, those nutritious bell peppers in your stir fry, those potatoes serving as the foundation of so many comforting meals. Nightshade vegetables contain compounds called alkaloids, primarily solanine, which serve as the plant's natural pesticide. These compounds protect the plant in nature, but in some people, particularly those over 60, they can trigger inflammation. This inflammatory response often concentrates in the joints and muscles, creating pain that migrates and fluctuates in intensity. Sound familiar? James, a 75-year-old retired postal worker, came to me after 2 years of escalating leg and foot pain. He loved his garden and grew the most beautiful tomatoes you've ever seen. Every summer, he ate them daily with pride. The pain got worse every August and September, he told me, but I never made the connection to my tomato harvest. I thought it was just from spending more time bending in the garden. When James temporarily eliminated nightshades, including his beloved tomatoes, the improvement was remarkable. It was like someone turned down the volume on my pain, he said. Now, James still grows his tomatoes. He loves the process too much to give it up, but he grows them for his children and grandchildren to enjoy while he focuses on the non-nightshade vegetables in his garden. A small sacrifice for the ability to work in that garden without pain. Again, I'm not suggesting that tomatoes and other nightshades are inherently harmful. They're packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. But for some bodies, particularly as they age, the inflammatory response they trigger outweighs their nutritional benefits. And now for our third unexpected food that might be causing your leg pain, fermented dairy products, especially yogurt with live active cultures. I can almost hear your surprise. After all, haven't we been told that yogurt is a superfood for seniors, that the probiotics it contains are essential for gut health, which in turn affects everything from our immune system to our mood? This advice isn't wrong for many people, but here's the complexity that's rarely discussed. As we age, changes in our gut microbiome can lead to reactions to certain strains of bacteria found in fermented dairy. For some people over 60, these reactions manifest as inflammation, which can concentrate in the muscles and joints of the legs. Helen, a 70-year-old former nurse, had been faithfully eating yogurt every morning for its supposed health benefits. I was so disciplined about it, she told me. I'd have my yogurt with berries and a drizzle of honey. I thought I was doing everything right for my health. But Helen's leg pain had become so severe that she'd given up her beloved twice-weekly aquatic aerobics class. Climbing the steps into the pool had become too daunting. Within 10 days of removing fermented dairy from her diet, Helen noticed a significant difference. First, I realized I wasn't reaching for the pain reliever quite as often, she said. Then I noticed I could go up the stairs without holding the railing in a death grip. It was like a fog lifting. By week 3, Helen was back in her aquatic aerobics class, moving with a freedom she hadn't experienced in years. I imagine you might be feeling a bit overwhelmed, perhaps even a little discouraged. 3 common foods, all generally considered healthy, all potentially contributing to your pain. Where do you go from here? First, take a deep breath. And this is actually good news because identifying potential triggers means you have the power to make changes. You're not destined to increasing pain and decreasing mobility. You're not at the mercy of just getting older. You have options. You have agency. You have the ability to potentially transform your daily experience of living in your body. But I know that dietary changes can seem daunting, especially when they involve foods you've come to rely on. So let me offer you a structured approach, the same one I've guided hundreds of patients through with remarkable success. I call it the 3-week revelation process. It's simple, manageable, and often life-changing. For just 3 weeks, you'll eliminate these 3 food categories from your diet: wheat and wheat-based products, nightshade vegetables, tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, eggplant, fermented dairy products. 3 weeks, that's all I'm asking. 21 days to potentially discover the key to relief that's been eluding you for years. During this time, you'll keep a simple daily journal, noting your pain levels and any changes you observe, not just in your leg pain, but in your overall well-being. Many of my patients are surprised to discover that other symptoms they'd been experiencing, brain fog, fatigue, even mood fluctuations, also improve during this process. After the 3 weeks, you'll systematically reintroduce each food category one at a time with a few days between each reintroduction. This methodical approach allows you to clearly identify which foods, if any, trigger your symptoms. The beauty of this process is its personalization. Some people discover that all 3 categories affect them. Others find that just one is the culprit. Some realize that they can tolerate small amounts of these foods, just not the quantities they'd been consuming. This isn't about adopting a permanently restricted diet. It's about gathering information specific to your unique body so you can make informed choices that support your best life. Now, I understand you might be wondering, what will I eat instead? That's a valid concern, and I want to address it head on. For wheat products, there are wonderful alternatives: oats, if tolerated, rice, quinoa, buckwheat, which despite its name isn't really related to wheat at all, and a variety of gluten-free products that have improved dramatically in taste and texture in recent years. Instead of nightshades, you can enjoy a rainbow of other vegetables: leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, squash, green beans, and so many more. These provide the same nutrients without the potentially inflammatory compounds. And while you're avoiding fermented dairy, you can explore alternatives like coconut yogurt or kefir made from coconut milk, which offer probiotic benefits without the problematic proteins. Let me share something important with you, something I tell all my patients when they embark on this journey. This process isn't just about eliminating foods, it's about adding quality of life. It's about saying yes to the activities you love, yes to playing with your grandchildren without distraction, yes to traveling without worrying about pain management, yes to dancing at your granddaughter's wedding. It's about reclaiming the joy of movement that is your birthright at any age. Barbara, an 81-year-old patient of mine, put it beautifully. After finding relief through dietary changes, she told me, "I don't miss bread nearly as much as I used to miss taking my daily walk. Foods come and go, but these years, this time, it's precious. I want to spend it moving freely in the world, not sitting on the sidelines because of pain." I believe you deserve that same freedom. Now, I want to address something you might be thinking. Why hasn't my doctor told me about this? It's a fair question and one I hear often. The truth is, most conventional medical training focuses very little on nutrition, particularly the nuanced ways food sensitivities can change as we age. Many wonderful, caring physicians simply haven't been exposed to this information. And our healthcare system, unfortunately, is structured around treatment rather than prevention or root cause identification. This isn't your doctor's fault, nor is it yours for not knowing. But now that you do know, you have the opportunity to be your own best advocate. I encourage you to approach this process with curiosity rather than fear or frustration. Think of yourself as a detective gathering clues about your unique body. Every sensation, every change, they're all valuable pieces of information guiding you toward your best health. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Consider sharing this video with your spouse, a friend, or a family member who might support you through this process. Sometimes making dietary changes together can make them feel more manageable and even enjoyable. If you have a healthcare provider you trust, I encourage you to share what you're learning and doing. More and more medical professionals are becoming open to the powerful role of nutrition in addressing chronic pain. Your experience might even help them better serve their other patients. As we come to the close of our time together today, I want to leave you with a thought that has guided my practice for nearly 3 decades. Your body is always, always communicating with you. Pain isn't just something to suppress or endure, it's information, valuable information that, when properly interpreted, can lead you back to comfort, mobility, and joy. You've lived in your body for more than 6 decades now. You've weathered storms, celebrated triumphs, experienced all the rich complexity of a life fully lived. You deserve to move through your golden years with dignity, comfort, and the freedom to continue saying yes to the experiences that matter most to you. The leg pain you've been experiencing isn't an inevitable sentence. It's an invitation to listen more deeply to your body's wisdom. Will removing these 3 foods completely eliminate your leg pain? I can't promise that. Every body is unique, and there are certainly other factors that can contribute to pain, from mechanical issues to medication side effects. But based on my decades of clinical experience, I can tell you that for many, many people, this approach offers significant relief when nothing else has helped. And isn't that possibility worth a 3-week exploration? I believe the answer is yes, because I believe you deserve to live with less pain and more joy. If this information has resonated with you, please consider giving this video a thumbs up so others in similar situations might find it. If you have questions or want to share your own experience, I read every comment and do my best to respond. For those who want more support on this journey, I've created a free downloadable guide to the 3-week revelation process, including meal suggestions and a simple tracking journal. You'll find the link in the description below. And if you'd like more videos like this one, exploring the often surprising connections between nutrition and well-being as we age, please subscribe to this channel. Together, we can continue challenging the notion that pain and limited mobility are inevitable parts of aging. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, your body is always speaking to you. Sometimes all it takes is learning to listen in a new way. Until next time, this is Dr. Jessica Lee wishing you vibrant health and pain-free days ahead.